Hi guys, welcome back. So I want to introduce our beautiful ballroom dance friend, Brianna, and we are going to get to know her today, guys. And so, first question, Brianna, how long have you been ballroom and Latin dancing?
So, unlike the many dancers that start when they're so small, I actually started senior year of high school. I actually hated dancing, which was interesting. I couldn't stand going to the school dances. I would just stand with my friends like in a corner and socialize. But something just really overcame me one time, and my parents and I were driving around and I saw a dance studio and I saw people ballroom dancing, and I was like, you know what, that's actually kind of cool, because I think I associated dancing more with like jazz, tap, ballet, like when you're like kind of more by yourself, you know? I'm like, partner dancing, like that's really interesting. And so I think I was a junior at this time, and for my birthday, my aunt and uncle bought me a dance lesson at Arthur Murray. And I had no idea what I was getting into. I didn't know there was American, international, room. I didn't know any of it. I just thought there was ballroom dance. And I kind of had the idea there was Dancing with the Stars, and I'm like, what is this? So I went there and I just truly fell in love with dancing. I really loved just like enjoying learning something new. And I was there for about a year, and then I was kind of like, well, I want to find out what this Latin is, because I've heard so much about international Latin. And then that's around the time when I found, I think a while later, I found Sunny's studio at the time. And I remember calling him like, does someone do Latin there? I don't know where to go. And they matched me with a instructor at the time. And it was a whole new thing. No longer dancing with bent knees, everything's straight legs, just very different. And it was a whole new language for me. And this is when I really dove into like real dancing. So I was really awakened by that point. And I was like, oh, but this is really cool. I'm really enjoying it. And my first competition I did, I think was in 2013 or 2014. And I did Pro-Am because, one, I didn't have a dance partner at the time. And my instructor was like, well, you can get yourself out on the dance floor. And that's how, someone's like, oh, she's doing Pro-Am, maybe she needs a dance, amateur partner. And I remember I did really well, and it was a good experience. But yeah, looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so long ago.
Yeah, I would say that is a benefit of Pro-Am. If you're gunning for an amateur partner, you can refine your skill and make yourself more marketable as an amateur. Certainly, it sounds silly, but when you're exchanging photos with someone online, you're gonna probably look a little better with the pro, and then it just makes you more marketable for that amateur partner. I've done that as well. I've done prom with someone like, hey, let's just get some, good Christmas card pictures here, and you'll get yourself a good partner, and that has worked like a charm.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you been dancing this whole time? Do you take breaks? Or have you been dancing consistently ever since you were junior high school?
There had been breaks, especially during when the whole COVID thing happened and my husband and I moved, and it was a whole thing. But when I met my husband, actually we met at San Francisco Open.
So is he a ballroom dancer too?
International Latin, yes. And I was doing a Pro-Am American Smooth at the time. This was in 2019. We were at San Francisco Open, and I was collecting tickets at the door. And he came and gave me his ticket. And we both looked at each other and we're like, we've never seen you before. Long story short, we got married. I moved to Sacramento, California.
I am loving this, guys. I've never heard this story.
Yeah, it was very in the moment, hand each other a ticket, we're like, look at each other. Anyway, we got married, and I moved my life to Sacramento, California, which was a whole new thing. It took, a while to adjust to California, but my husband had owned a studio for 9 years prior. So he started very early in his early 20s, opening his own dance studio, doing pro-am, dancing with students, group classes, private lessons. He had a beautiful studio space. And then about a year after I moved there, we opened our new space. And we opened it a week before COVID hit.
Oh my gosh, guys. I sold my ballroom a couple months before COVID hit. Oh,
yeah.
my heart bleeds for you. Oh.
It was so hard. And I think we lived in there for about a week remodeling. My husband did the painting. Oh, he did everything. He is not just a dancer, but he knows how to do everything. He's very handy. And he did everything for the studio. And, of course I helped. And it was a lot of work, and I think for people's own sanity, they wanted to dance. It was just too much with being so locked down. But anyway, in that time of being in California, we were training, and we had coaches ourselves. And then the whole COVID thing still got a little too much, so we moved out of California to Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay, so for our international friends, she moved from West Coast to
all the way to
East Coast.
Yes.
Okay. Have you noticed differences? Because the United States is a big country. Are there cultural differences in the dance communities, or do you find them to be consistent coast to coast?
Actually, it's completely different from my experience. The dancers that I have met in the South have been so kind, and I'm not saying that everyone's mean or anything, but people are different in different parts of the country, of the world. It's been so pleasant, we mentioned I'm a ballroom dress designer, but to work with these ladies as well, pro-am ladies, other professional dancers that have dresses made, or people that come in for dance lessons. The South is very slow. It's more, just go about your day calmly. We were used to the California go, 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 do this, do that. Everyone's in competition with each other, and we just want to go with the flow and be nice with everyone,
I do think California, guys, is a little bit of a different animal. Yes. Comment below if you're from California. I'd be interested to hear your take on it, but it does seem to me to be its own unique culture down there, and I'm just in Oregon, one state north, and it just feels like it could be a different galaxy, the culture up here.
Oh yeah, so different, but it's really interesting to meet everyone, from the West Coast, and then the East Coast, the South. The Florida competitions are fantastic. They're a lot of fun, and also you get to visit the ocean, so it's really nice.
Disney World.
Yes, Disney World. Can't forget about Disney World. But yeah, it's just been really a pleasant experience getting to know the dance community in Greenville.
Okay, and so going back to your comp experience, you mentioned that you started with pro-am. Did you ever compete amateur, or did you just do pro-am? You mentioned your partner is a professional dancer. Are you considering maybe dancing pro? Brianna does have an entire professional life designing ballroom dance gowns, as well as a costume resale business. So if you missed the videos I've posted on that, check the description below. I'll include a link to our website, but I'm really curious about kind of your dance competitive history. Have you done just pro-am, or?
So my very first competition was just pro-am, and then shortly after, I started partner dancing with amateur partner. And I had two very consistent dance partners. One that I was with for, I would say 2 years, and then next one was maybe as well 2 years. But they were a long period of time, and we did quite a bit of competitions together. Canada, Seattle, Washington, California, Portland Open. So yeah, it was a really good experience, and there was a lot of ups and downs, but I really learned a lot from my dance partners, from my dance instructors, just working all together to make a dance happen. I mean, it's really crazy when you think about the amount of work that goes into a dance, a minute and 30 seconds on the dance floor, and every detail you put into it. but it's really been an interesting journey.
And then you mentioned that you started out in a chain studio. Have you only taken in chain studios, or have you taken in independent studios? How do you, and if you've done in both, how does that experience differ?
Yes. So, yes, I started in a chain studio, and I actually did go through the interview process of becoming a dance instructor with them. And honestly, I didn't like the details of what that entailed. It wasn't me. So yes, after that, I went to your studio and I took lesson with independent instructor, and I was learning much more, but faster. And rather at the chain, I was learning at their pace, which was very slow. And I would just, to anyone who really wants to pursue dancing, and I wish someone told me this when I started dancing, because I didn't know. I thought that, well, everyone dances at this studio. This is the ballroom place, right? Is that this is your investment into your dancing, and you should learn as fast as you learn at your pace. You know, I'm not saying jump to doing open or anything. Definitely start with syllabus. And you guys, syllabus can look beautiful on the dance floor. It can look, you know, I've seen people jump to doing open. I'll even say I did kind of jump to doing open too soon. And I was like even struggling to do open step, and like, well, you could just do a bronze basic step and look 10 times better than the step you're struggling to do right now. I'm saying that was my personal experience. And for me, I wish someone told me to like truly study syllabus first and master all of these things, because then that's going to complement your open dancing so much more. And it's going to look so nice and so clean, rather than just like, well, she's doing that and that looks cool and I want to do it. Like,
this is great advice, guys. I'll tell you, you know, when I first started dancing, I was like, oh, I want to be in the gold class. And I had some pre-champ level competitor friends that were like, Sunny, insider tip. You stay syllabus as long as you can, and you master that, and you can either lose your way to the top or you can win your way to the top, and you can get there easier if you do master that syllabus first. Genius advice.
Yeah.
And I would say those wins at the lower level, you know, winning at the U.S. Nationals, the national bronze, the national silver, the national gold in the country title. Like those wins got me through the tough times, because you are going to go through tough times in comps where you don't dance your best or you don't get the result you want. And so it does help you realize, okay, I guess I am actually getting better. I totally agree. If you jump into the deep end, you might drown and never quite get out of the pool.
And I speak from experience. Like I don't even know what I was thinking, or if it was my instructor at the time. It was so long ago.
I think it's just excitement, and these are normal feelings.
Everything.
These are normal feelings for people that come into competition, totally. But for those of you that are, you know, doing that bronze and silver, you're on the right track.
Yes.
And guys, I've gone way over this mark, and I have many more questions about for Brianna, including probably some of the two most popular questions I get, which is how do I find the right prom partner for me, and how do I find the right teacher for me, and how do I find the right amateur partner for me? Because she does have a diverse, long experience in these areas. So we're going to come back at you with a follow-up video on this. It's not going to be tomorrow, but it will be very soon. So stay tuned for that. We're going to get to know Brianna a little bit better. Also, guys, don't miss the description of this video. I'm going to include a link to Brianna's business, where she makes beautiful, professional, custom designed Latin and ballroom gowns, as well as a costume resale business where she churns over a lot of costumes. So don't miss that, and we will see you first thing tomorrow with some more things ballroom dance. And we thank you so much, Brianna, for sharing all your experience with us.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.